Welcome to the Lobe Thriller. In the first scene, we wanted to create quite low-level lighting to create a mysterious atmosphere, quite an isolated interview room. The only sound that we wanted to create was the ticking of the clock. We wanted to go for quite a high angle to show the authority of the person being interviewed. It's pretty low.
For scene 2, we decided to have the lighting very similar to scene 1, but the main thing that we wanted for scene 2 is that we wanted to focus on the door handle being moved as the interviewer walks into the room. Also as well, we didn't want the face of the interviewer to be shown in the shot, as we want him to be portrayed as being mysterious and not being known of his identity.
Hello, it's John Brown here. Talking about scene 3. Well, in this scene we have both the interviewer and the interviewee in the scene, and we have the interviewer placing very strangely on the table in front of the interviewee some pictures which will evoke the interviewee's memory.
Right, then we're going to scene 4, which is where the detective manipulatively places the briefcase of money on the table in front of the suspect. We're hoping for the camera to zoom right in on the money.
After this, we're hoping to zoom out of the suitcase into his flashback of his memory, and we hope to change the colour in editing to make it more obvious that we're going back in time from the point of view of the interviewee.
Yes, and the scene will show the interviewee disposing of the money, maybe hiding it in a river to show he has something to hide, obviously.
Then we move on to scene 5, where again it cuts straight back to the interview room in real time. The detective places the second picture down on the table in front of him, which will be a picture of a knife which was used before with fingerprints and blood on. The camera will zoom into this knife.
And very similar to the suitcase one, we'll zoom into it so much that it goes black, and then we'll zoom out to show the flashback of the interviewee and his perspective of looking at the knife.
This flashback will shortly tell the story of how the interviewee finds himself tied to a chair, and there's his kidnapper standing near him over a dead body, and the kidnapper is holding a bloodied knife.
The scene cuts back to the interview room where the detective shows a third picture of the suspect's kidnapper where he is shown dead. The camera zooms up onto the picture and then zooms out to his flashback account of where he is trying to escape from the chair and then goes on to jump out of a window. The rest of the thriller piece stays in his flashback. In this scene we see him running down a set of stairs down into a back alley. In scene 8, we see him running through an alleyway onto a busy street trying to escape from his kidnapper. Scene 9 is the chase scene, where we see him running through a busy street. As he turns around, he sees that his kidnapper is running after him. Scene 10, we are still in the chase scene, where we see him running towards the train station trying to escape from his kidnapper. However, he is still chasing after him. In scene 11, we see both characters on the platform at the train station. The kidnapper comes behind him and closes him in, trying to kidnap.
Scene 12, we see the man he spots a train and tries to jump on the train to escape from his kidnapper. Scene 13, second to last scene, is where the man walks into the carriage and sits down on a chair trying to gather himself. Last scene, scene 14 of the whole piece, is where his memory basically blacks out, so we will, in editing, make sure it dips to black.